of, back in the day, man wanted to transform lead into gold.
We still do.
We're still trying to do that, but I think the science is against it.
Right.
Yeah.
But separating gold from lead, there are 50 ways to do that.
Right.
Hello, Mark, and thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, we have the pleasure of having you on our podcast today, and congratulations is in order. You are the new president of the IPMI.
Yes, I got a new tag for that. Can I show the tag?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
show the tag.
Congratulations. That's great news.
There's quite a few on that badge.
Yes. It sort of grows on you.
A little bit of busyness and a lot of volunteering over the years.
Yeah, well, that's what the IPMI is known for.
Right.
All the officers, the board members are volunteers. And it's thanks to the generosity of the different corporations that we can spend time doing this.
How long have you been a member?
Being a member of IPMI, I believe, since 2008.
Okay.
That's really when I got more involved with precious metals here in North America.
That's a long time. Yeah.
It goes by quick, though, right?
Very quick.
Have you
very
seen the
quick.
organization change in certain ways?
I think it made a great change when it sort of reduced the number of board members. Before it was a large number of board members. I think it was about 50, and it were more the higher level executives of the different companies.
Yeah.
But then, those high level executives, like you were saying, CEOs are very busy, and they don't really have time to do this additional work.
Right.
So reducing the size of the number of the board members, and then having an exco, an executive committee that was a lot more dynamic, more active, and the people that were on the executive committee were a lot more involved with the business as such, and had ideas how to improve the precious metal industry as a whole.
What are you hoping to see this year?
This year.
This upcoming year? Any changes? or?
No. I think it's mainly continuing what we've been doing up to now. The IPMI is an organization, is the only global organization that represents and defends the interest of people involved in all the precious metals. Yes, you have an organization that works for platinum, maybe gold, but we are handling all the different metals, and it's very, how would I say, it's not theoretical. There are a lot of practical applications. And the IPMI is an organization that never will take a stand on anything, but we provide all the information to its members. We try to educate, to show the members maybe new technologies, like we had yesterday morning, and to teach them about also, show them how ESG is being applied in different companies, and then the members pick and choose what works for them, what doesn't work for them. So it's really up to the members. We're a members organization, members driven.
I would say 10 years ago, responsible sourcing and know your customer and AML were not prevalent in the industry, but the IPMI has really brought that education of those aspects to the forefront, to the membership.
Correct.
And that's very useful.
And we're still talking about it. Ed, during the AutoCAD meeting yesterday, KYC was brought to the forefront.
Know your customer.
Again, know your customer, absolutely. And it's essential that we all do it. But we cannot say how to do it. We will show you how other companies do it. And here again,
And pick up some ideas.
pick up some ideas, take the best here and there,
Right.
and create your own
Yeah, I really like that.
KYC.
I like that.
So it really applies to the companies, because we're all different companies. You got large companies, small companies, mid-sized companies, family-owned companies, companies that are on the stock exchange. So that's what makes it really interesting.
I heard one of the gentlemen from the major bank recently say, yes, know your customer, KYC, but know your customer's customer.
Where does it stop? Where does it stop?
That was the follow-up. Where really does it stop? Well,
Not really.
it doesn't really stop, does it?
Not really. Because you can have a nice system in place for know your customer. But how do you know? Well, you send out a questionnaire, but how do you know that your customer is answering honestly? Whether they are answering truthfully? You don't really, unless you go on site and you have a face-to-face and you are there physically. But nobody can go to all their customers and do that. So you have to
It's a
pick
balancing
and choose.
act.
You have to pick and choose. Maybe there's some red flags that are on certain customers, and they you go and see in person. But then for the others, you rely on the system.
Well,
you
I think best business practices dictate that the criminal element that's just out there is pushed away. It's held at bay because they don't want to get involved with that type of transparency.
That's correct. But then the way we have to do it cannot become overbearing for the companies that are doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. Because if you add so much new, documents and administration, some of the smaller companies might have difficulty keeping up with it, and that might be to the detriment of their business.
So I see you at the Winter Conference, the SAC, or the Sampling Assay Committee, or there's other things, CCAM. What is it that you have or resonates with you from your background, your interest? What is it that you really enjoy attending and participating in?
I enjoy the diversity that the IPMI offers its members, and education, learning is ongoing. It doesn't stop.
Right.
You're mentioning, KYC, know your customer, know your customer's customer, know your customer's customer's customer. Where does it stop? It never stops. And we have something similar coming on board now is the ESG. ESG, whether you like it or not, it's there. It's here to stay. And then we're talking about scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. Yesterday I heard somebody talking about scope 4. Is there a scope 5 and a scope 6 coming? Where does it end? Right. It never ends. You just can learn from what there is and how companies deal with it, and take out the best parts. Regulation is something that's going to be coming forward from different countries. Different countries are going to be going to have a more protective, I don't want to say nationalistic approach, but a protective approach of their own region. Mm-hmm. And the precious metal world, the material world is really based on free flowing throughout the globe.
Right.
Because not every region, not every country has the expert that needs
or the capabilities,
the
infrastructure.
So really, for any company that wants to develop their business, they really have to go globally. But regulations are coming in place, and it's going to become more and more difficult. We're not going to tell our IPMI members how to do it, but we're going to show them what's out there and what do other companies do about that. And again, we have to follow the regulations and develop systems without going against the business growth of the different companies. There again, small business companies have different expectations than large ones. So
that's
IPMI
right.
is there to assist.
Yeah.
Whomever, however.
And educate
Connect.
them in that.
Connect.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Network.
sorry.
And educate them with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's
That's a
also
good point.
networking, not besides networking. I didn't mean that. I mean, now there's mentoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time you see mentoring within corporations.
That takes work,
in
right?
this industry.
That takes
Always.
work. That.
Now I'm seeing groups that have been established to mentor young professionals.
So basically, going forward, you asked how I saw the year coming, and basically we want to continue. Would like to continue offering the right materials to our members, like this conference, like the winter conference, like the October workshops, and show them what other technologies are out there. But we also always want to show the science of it. So that's why the IPMI also has a great newsletter or information document that would reference also articles that were published maybe in the 50s. The science doesn't change. Technology does.
Correct.
I always use the example well, back in the day, man wanted to transform lead into gold.
We still do.
We're still trying to do that, but I think the science is against it.
Right.
Yeah.
But separating gold from lead, there are 50 ways to do that.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
you get that reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested to learn, Mark, a little bit about your background.
My personal background.
Yeah, what led you into the precious metals industry?
Well, I'm working for a precious metals company. So, I graduated as a chemical engineer from Brussels University and started working at Umicore. It wasn't called Umicore back then. That was in '84. And I started at the Hoboken site. And I always, is this a podcast for a US public or a global public?
It's global.
So it's the Hoboken in Belgium. So there is a Hoboken in New Jersey.
Correct.
Which is very famous for
Yeah.
Frank
Sinatra.
Sinatra. Exactly,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
Good old Blue Eyes,
Blue
right?
Eyes.
That's right.
So you really connected with that chemical side of the industry.
Yeah, the chemical side, the material science side.
Material science,
Back
yes.
in my days, they had chemical engineering, metallurgical engineering, mining engineering. I think today it's all called material science.
Material science.
And that's something we need more people of that. We need a younger generation that's interested in.
Well, I think I've
handling
met a
of
few
material.
here at the conference that I haven't seen before.
That's why we're always so grateful, and that's also a role that the IPMI plays, is to try and encourage the younger generation to get involved into the precious metal industry. And there are challenges ahead of us. Just to name one would be the further use of palladium. That there are some applications that are being questioned, and there might be a need for more palladium being used. What other applications are there that could use palladium?
Yeah. And they haven't all been discovered yet.
Exactly. So maybe we should be encouraging universities, colleges to work on, use palladium and try and develop new applications. And who knows which one finds the one that has the big industrial application. But that's going to be a challenge coming up this year. But there's not going to be an end to it, right? So it's not going to happen in 12 months' time.
Right.
We can plant the seeds and then see how far that plant grows.
Yeah.
But to come back to your question, I started out at the Hoboken site in Belgium, which is the precious metal refining side. And in '94, I came to the US, to North Carolina, where we had a facility that produced cobalt powders. And that facility ran its course until we had to shut that down because of Chinese competition. So even for larger corporations, it's very important to take into account your competition, your environment, your market environment. And in '98, we went to Raleigh, North Carolina, and then developed there what we call the regional headquarters. So I've been involved there, and it's in 2008 that I got back into precious metals, and it was mainly spent automotive catalyst. We had a sampling outfit also in North Carolina to do some sampling and XRF assaying.
2008,
Yes.
tough market.
Yes.
Slightly.
That was a big problem.
That was a problem.
But since then, that facility has been shut down. But we are really keeping our eye on opportunities in North America for end-of-life materials that contain precious metals.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are going to be more and more materials, and maybe the concentrations of the metals are going to be less and less, but there are still a lot of opportunities out there. Yeah. I'm personally a firm believer of the, reduce, reuse, recycle. So if you don't need it, try and do without. Most of the products the precious metals are in are needed. So reducing is maybe, we can reduce the gold content by a bit, and it still would work. Reuse, end of life. Electronics, there are a lot of components from electronics that can be reused in other applications. So don't go shredding your circuit boards yet, try and reuse it. The example I always give is the iPhone. I can sell my iPhone on eBay, wherever, for $100, depending on the generation of the iPhone. I could recover maybe a dollar or two for the metal value that there is in. So reuse is better. It's better for society. Well, it's better for the individual that has the iPhone. And at the end of the day, if you cannot reuse it, recycle it. And metals have this property, and it's so nice with precious metals also, that they can be recycled infinitely. Infinitely?
Infinitely.
Infinitely. Thank you. Yes. See. That's my time in Belgium. I lost my English.
In South Carolina, you should be picking up a little bit of the drawl.
Well, they still ask where I'm from, so I get to say y'all, and that's about it.
Or all y'all.
All y'all. All you are welcome in the Carolinas.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, this is great. I really appreciate you making the time. You're very busy here at the conference. And we pulled you in, and we just wanted to get you here for a couple of questions.
Sure.
And get the word out about IPMI again from your perspective. And this was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me,
time.
Ed and Rich. Thank you.